So yeah, I think the season actually changed today, and I'm back to video journaling, as it were. And I think the camera is going to keep auto adjusting if I go forward or back. But anyway, yeah, working at Costco today, and around 4 o'clock, man, a storm, like well, not a storm, but it was really dark, very dark clouds looking to the west. And then we had a member pull up for an air check, and she actually had some snow on her windshield, but she said she only lived like 5 minutes away from my Costco. So it's like it did get freaking cold today. Winter is here apparently. Thank God I put my winter tires on my Prius so I can get around. And I do have set of tires for the Nissan, but I would rather drive the Prius because it has power windows and it has cruise control and it has a Bluetooth radio so I can listen to music and podcasts while I'm driving. So the entire 8-minute commute to my job. But yeah, definitely the season is changing. A lot has happened in the last like 7 days. So I guess I just wanted to do a video journal for my one listener, Gwen. Shout out to Gwen. I do appreciate that you said you actually like the solo podcast, which I don't understand. I feel like when I have a guest on, it's much more interesting. But you're awesome, Gwen. Thank you for encouraging me and supporting me. So it's your fault that I'm going to keep doing these random solo podcasts. Shout out to Trusty Brewing. Tis the season. Gary, I miss you. You really did make the best beer I've ever had in my entire life. And I kind of miss your, I forgot what you called it. And I got a keg of it from you. I think it was supposed to be like a winter IPA. And it came in like at 10% ABVs. And you warned me like, dude, just don't have more than one or two of these a night. Cause but it was awesome. Anyway, your corner window IPA was literally, and I'll still say it now, God, 2016 to 2024, so 8 years later, your corner window IPA was the best IPA I have ever had, still to this day. So anyway, nice. So yeah, crazy, random, awesome musical stuff has happened in the last 7 days. I probably have talked about it before, but Dan Dingman, a local Vancouver artist, he started doing an open mic thing up at Farger Lake House in Amboy, Washington. And it's the second Wednesday of every month, which normally, I work until 7 o'clock on Wednesdays, so I can't usually make it. But there was, I think it was October, or was it September? But anyway, I went up there because I think Garrett was on vacation, so I had an opening shift at work, so I got off like at 5:30, grabbed my guitar and headed up there. I think I got there like at 6:20 or 6:25, and it was over at 7. But I had first met Dan Dingman, I think the week earlier when he was playing at Cellar 55 in Vancouver, and he happened to mention that he does his open mic thing. And I was looking for a place to play out like that, I've been annoying several tap rooms and breweries where I would, in the summertime when the weather was nice, I would just bring my guitar. As anybody that knows me knows, I pack my guitar everywhere and I just will bring it out and start playing. So I've been doing that all summer, trying to get comfortable playing out. And I was like, it's time for me to try an open mic. And Dan was super awesome and welcoming. So, again, I think it was the second. Yeah, it must have been the second Wednesday of October. I had an opening shift, got up there, and played a first open mic there with him. And he was just by himself. Nobody else showed up, and it was sparsely. There was a few customers there, but it wasn't a packed house. Perfect place to do my first open mic. So I did that. Anyway, he told me, let's do it again. So this second Wednesday in November, which would have been a little less than a week ago last Wednesday, actually planned it, went up there. I I took vacation, so I normally get off at 7 on Wednesdays, but I took vacation so I can get off at 2:30. Went home, showered, did a little quick rehearsal, because I'm nervous, of course. Went up there, and it was actually awesome. There were more customers in the bar. Fargo Lake House is awesome. They do a lot of live music, and they have Dan do this once a month. But great people, great customers, and it was busier. But nobody else, as far as a musician, or it's open mic. You can do spoken word, you can do comedy. But once again, nobody showed up. But I was comfortable enough this time, after having done it the month before, that I was like, we can just do this all night. So me and Dan kind of played 2 to 3 songs each, and we just kept switching. So he would take a break, and I would play 2 or 3 songs, and then he would come back and play 2 or 3, and then I would play, and killed the whole 2 hours. It was actually really amazing. A random couple that were there for dinner, I found out later, I didn't know it at the time, but they went up and talked to the server. Oh God, I'm gonna blank on her name again. Riza? Is it Riza? Maybe. She's awesome. But anyway, I saw them talking to her in the middle of my set, and I thought they were complaining about like the noise is too loud. But no, they ended up buying my drinks, and I had a shot and a beer. That was it. But they wanted to pay for it. And then there was a young couple there with like I think 3 kids from age like 5 and up, and they would give their kids, like, it started out with a quarter, but then also like $1, and they would send their kids up to tip me. And I just, Dan Dingman had a tip jar there, and I was like, yeah, just put it in the tip jar. That was so sweet. And then I was, 15 years as a DJ. I'm not afraid to talk in a mic in front of people. I'm more insecure about my playing and singing, but they were just cool, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to try an Eric Church song, and I'm going to mess it up, but, let's see what happens. And it was a really amazing experience. So that was last Wednesday, and this is Monday, so 5 days ago, I guess. And it went so well, and a really good night. And then my friend Sparrow, who gave me my first opportunity to play out, as they call it, and this was, God, was it a year ago? It's been a while. She was playing at a local tap room here, Gossip in the Grain. And I got off work on a Saturday and just went down to catch the end of her set. She played for an hour, took a break, and caught me off guard. When she was on her break, she just said, oh, do you want to play a couple? And I'd had a beer, so I was like, sure, why not? And I did 2 songs and ruined her set, chased everybody out of the tap room. No, I'm kidding. I killed it, man. But anyway, that was my first time that I actually played out in front of people. So thank you again, Sparrow, for that. But anyway, Sparrow told me about Cascade Bar and Grill, which is here in Vancouver on Mill Plain, just a little bit west of 164th. These 2 local artists, Casey and Tyler, are starting an open mic there every Sunday at 8 p.m. And she told me about it, and I was like, well, yeah, I get off at 6 on Sundays at Costco, so I can make it. So we went there last night. This is Monday. And we were actually able to record like a 30-minute podcast with Sparrow, because her musical journey is going on. She went back to Nashville, made some connections. She has a bunch of original stuff. So anyway, we talked about it. So we did that for like 30 minutes, and then I put my equipment away, and we just listened to Casey and Tyler opened up the show with a few songs, and then the first open micer came up. It was a girl, and she sang a couple of songs. She did a Fleetwood Mac song, and I can't remember the name, but it was awesome. And then Sparrow went up and played, and then they called me up. I put my name in. So that was the third open mic I've ever done. But the Cascade Bar and Grill has live music every weekend. So they already have a full stage set up. They have a house PA that is amazing, with a front of the house PA. They also have monitors, and Casey knew how to run it. So all I had to do was plug in, talk on the mic, and then strum the guitar a few times, and he dialed it in. And I remember watching as Casey and Tyler were playing to open the show. I was like, you know what? They are really amazing musicians. So when I got on stage, I looked down at Tyler, who was sitting at a table in front of the stage, and I was like, "You play bass, right? You want to join me? I mean, God knows I need a rhythm section." And he was so happy. He came up, and then Casey was like, "Oh, well, do you want?" I forgot what the instrument was. Do you want this in the background? I'm like, "Yes, please, help me. I suck. I need to play with the musicians." I have a passion about these songs I play, but I would love to play with fully formed musicians. And having a really good bass player to give you a rhythm helped. So we played, I forgot if it was 2 or 3 songs, and it was awesome. I gave them the basic 4 chords, and they killed it. And then on the second song, I did Luke Bryan's "Drink a Beer," and Tyler was playing bass and just doing a great job of following me. And then we got to the bridge, and I sang it. And then after the bridge, I just kept the bridge going. And Casey had jumped on a lead guitar and just was riffing, playing lead guitar off my rhythm. Most amazing experience ever. So that was just last night. And they probably shouldn't have encouraged me, because I'm going to keep going back there. A lot of people to thank. And I'm going to shout out to M&R Sellers, because I've met and seen a ton of awesome musicians there, just making a lot of connections. Too many to name. Oh God, Michael McCabe, Holly Olson, Sparrow played there. Lucas Holmgren played there. Who else have I seen? Oh, the Imposter Syndrome. And it's a duet, and they're together. But and I remember his name is Ken. I forgot her name, and God, they're gonna punch me in the face when they see me next. But Ken, the set I saw him there, he played Def Leppard's Hysteria, and it was the first time I've seen somebody play it the original way. It was acoustic version, but he actually was playing the same chords in the same key, and I was like, I recorded it. I'm like, dude, you are playing it exactly how they play it. I have searched for tutorials on this, but you nailed it, and it was amazing. So I'm gonna work on that song. But yeah. Oh. Super excited for the seasons of change. I was smart, and Saturday, when my first day back to work was Saturday, so I brought my snow tires in for my Prius and put the winter tires on. Thank God, just in time, because it got cold. But I'm gonna go back on my days off this week on Thursday to Terrebonne and help my friend Jason. He's moving in with his mom, and I've talked about him before, I think, on the podcast, or at least I've posted a lot about him. Stage 4 cancer, and we did I went over there a couple weeks ago, and we did a podcast. It was amazing, with lots of friends. But I'm gonna go help him, do some of the heavy lifting and get him into his mom's place in Madras. Doing whatever I can. He is actually super amazing and strong and brave about this whole thing, what he's going through. So yeah, a lot of, again, just I've been meeting a lot of good people. I should give a shout out to Micah and his brother Brennan, who I randomly met a few weeks ago. I knew them. I'd known them before, but I randomly stumbled into Tap's Growler House on 162nd. And Paul, the manager there, lets me annoy people and bring my guitar in and play. But anyway, I stopped there on a night a few weeks ago, and Micah had just lost a friend in an accident. So they were over on the couches, and I brought my guitar in, and instantly there was a connection there, and I didn't realize that they're musical. And Micah actually has recorded at least one song he told me about. It's on Spotify, and it was a great song. I didn't know he was an artist. And he gave him my guitar, and he played a little bit, and then I played for them, and Yeah, again, Micah's going through a tough time right now, but the guy is so talented, and the song is amazing. And then Brennan, his brother, is working at Oak Tree Station and maybe some of the other Taps locations. But yeah, they're both just really good people. We know a lot of the same people. Um, Steve Richards, and I think they went to high school with some of Pam's kids, I believe. They're about that age range. So anyway, it was fun. Yeah. Um, and I actually have made more connections for the podcast. Stuff I can't talk about, obviously, because I'm not gonna talk about it until it actually happens. But yeah, playing out these open mics is really yeah, it's awesome. I like the fact that I have a no sense of self awareness, so I don't care if I'm embarrassing myself, um, which is kind of what you have to do if you're gonna do this. Show up at a random place with a guitar and a voice that's not on key. Still learning how to. It's weird because I was a karaoke DJ for so long, so I know how to sing through a PA, but there's something different about when I'm trying to play guitar and sing my own song at the same time. Um, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get in the weeds on that. But yeah, things are going good, and I have so many people to give thanks and appreciation to. So I just wanted to do a shout out, and once again, thank you, Gwen, for always listening to the solo podcast. You're the best. I will see you guys soon.